linebackers that one was all conference and the other one should have been all conference. We're replacing them as well. So, we got it. There's some things that we got to tidy up. I think in that first game we might have been doing a little bit too much, but we weren't aligned properly. Like that's the biggest thing for that first game. When they ran that counter back on to that other side, we didn't have enough over there. So that wasn't a schematics issue. That was an alignment issue. That was a communication issue. So those are some things for us where we had to continue to work on it. University of Miami, what do you think they're going to try to do to us? What do you think they're going to try to do to us? They're going to run the football, right? So until you stop it, right, and put it on film, right, what you put on film and what teams are going to try to do to you. So for us, we know we got to work on. We're continuing to try to find out who our best 11 are, regardless of the situation, and that's those are the things that we're harping on as we get ready for this football game this upcoming Saturday.
Yeah, let me soften the Florida A&M fan base. Hey, don't take it so hard on Coach. Coach just now took it over. He's got to fix that issue of running the football before y'all can hold a trophy up.
Again,
and I'm pretty sure that I know you guys are working on that.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead, Coach Campbell.
Now, Coach, I'm going to ask you about the Miami game because I know a lot of people want to know about that. But one of the things, too, that I've noticed, again, each team is a different personality. But it looks like, have you focused on the discipline of the team for us, not getting personal fouls, not being offside, not getting penalties? That's something that you really and your coaching staff has really worked on, because that was kind of an issue for a lot of our fans. We were very explosive, so we were able to make up those mistakes. But it seems like this year in these first two games, the penalties have gone down from a personal standpoint and just from a schematic standpoint of being offsides or you're holding and things like that.
Well, we had 5 the first game and we had 6 the second. We have these things that we do during training camp that we did every day, talking about the FBI. We call it football IQ. And as a coach, we would talk to the team about it. Well, I gave the first one of training camp, and my football IQ talk was about penalties. I showed them the numbers as far as where we were ranked and the amount of penalties that we've had over the last couple of years. And when I was talking to the team, they couldn't believe that we had many yards that we had given up. And then we talked about, well, what if we had not given up those penalties during that time frame? What would our scores have been? What would our season have looked like last year? Even though we went 12-1, we probably would have dominated a little bit more. So, we kind of had that round table discussion about what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to do it. There's been a couple of times throughout the season I've called timeout, and we've talked about what teams are going to be trying to do to us, and why they'd be trying to do it. So, the guys understand that they, situations, right, how we need to handle them. We've handled them much better, even though we've had 1 or 2, right? We've handled them much, much better than maybe we've done in the past. But in these games right now, as close as they've been, right, one penalty here, one penalty there can change a drive, can change an opportunity to score. So, our veterans are doing a really, really good job of taking the lead with that. They understand how important it is to me. So, from the stands or from TV, it looks like that. But believe it or not, we've had a lot of discussions, and we penalize you after practice for some of those foolish penalties that we may have had.
Hey, Coach,
now, Coach, we're getting ready. Well, hold on, Rocky. Now, Coach, we're playing the University of Miami.
Yes, sir.
You're from Miami.
Yep.
What are you looking for as the team? Again, anytime the rally step on the field, our goal is to win the game. But I know also as a coach, there's some things that you're trying to grow the team in. So this is going to be a step up in talent. This is going to be an opportunity for a lot of our players to get exposed to a Power 4 team, to get some tape for scouts and things like that. What are you looking to accomplish in the game versus Miami?
Year of our season, we know we're going against a really, really good opponent. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They're a good football team, and we got 1 game of film on them. Them suckers went down in the swamp and beat Florida 41-17. I mean, we ain't gonna I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to them. They watch film with us the entire week. They know what we're up against. So for me, I want us to play better than we played week 2. That's what I want. I told my coach today, I don't want us to stop coaching. I told my players today, I don't want us to stop playing. Right. So, it gives us another opportunity to play, but to see what it's like, right, when you get that opportunity or see what it's like playing a big time football game. You came to Florida A&M to play in these type of games, right? And you mentioned if you have aspirations to play at the next level, guess what film they're going to be looking at? No disrespect to Mississippi Valley State or Alabama A&M. When he's Kendall Bowler, you want to show you could play in the next level? We're going to see how you played against Miami. Alan Smith, aspirations, wants to play in the NFL. We're going to see how you played against Miami. We got 3 or 4 offensive linemen. They want to go to the next level. Well, guess what film the scouts are going to watch? You against the University of Miami. So, there's some things that, I know guys are playing for, but I don't want them to do it in an unselfish way. We have a philosophy that we want on offense and defense. We have technique. We have fundamentals. Do what you're supposed to do. If your butt's supposed to be in the B gap, keep your butt in the B gap. If you're supposed to run your out route at 9 yards, run your out route at 9 yards. So, I want us to play better than what we played last week. Those are the things that I would like to see, and that's what we're going to try to get to when we play Saturday.
Is this the type of game where, I'm sorry, I'm going to give you one more. I'm sorry, just one more because I just want to follow up on it. Coach, is this the type of game where you see where the other players, the second string, will get opportunity to also play to see what they can do, give them some time? Because we've had 2 close games where maybe you didn't get a lot of players in as you wanted. Is this the type of game where, hey, maybe we can put a couple of guys in to see what they can do also? Is that possible in this game?
Well, I think we do that anyway. We always want our best 11 to be out there. So when it's 3rd and long, we got a different 11 out there on the field. When it's 1st and 10, when we're in nickel, we got a different 11 out there on the field, right? Offensively, if you noticed, we've played multiple tight ends in different situations. We've played multiple running backs, right? So in our game, even though we start with 11, defensively we played almost 23 to 24 people. And offensively, we've almost played 24 to 25 people. So we do that anyway, right? And I continue to tell our coaches, hey, we got to continue to develop. I want to get next year's team ready this year, right? So we got guys that are playing that aren't necessarily starters, right? But when they hit the field, we want them to play like starters. So we're traveling 70, right? You're probably going to dress 105. So, right. But you're exactly right. We need to continue to develop our players, right? We'll continue to do that. We'll give them opportunities to play. But I think for the most part, we've done a good job of that already, right? And I think that getting a chance to play against this type of crowd and this type of environment can only get us ready when we got to go play Alabama State. When we got to go play Jackson State. They've already been in that. They've already played in the big crowd. They did it. They're going to be able to do that Saturday. They did it in Atlanta, but it gives us continue to give us an opportunity to get ourselves ready to play big time college football in a big time environment.
Yeah. Coach, I don't know if you know about HBCU history and head football coaches. I've been around it for 40 years, man, and it's a pleasure. You belong here. You are a guy that loves these kids, love this opportunity to coach in HBCU. The way you coach them is at a higher level. I can look in the future that as long as they have you there will be some kids that go to the next level. We've been low these last 15 years of kids actually leaving and going to the next level. I think you and your staff, man, y'all professional. Those 2 games I've seen, I can't say enough about Chennis Berry and his football team, enough about Oldham. Just love to watch the professionalism, the schemes and stuff for me. I'm back with Eddie Robinson and all those cats, man. So I want to make sure I tell you that and give you your flowers, man, and hopefully you stay around forever. But if not, I wish you well. And I just wanted to make sure that I say that, man, because a whole lot of stuff was going on during the time of hiring you and hiring somebody else, and man, I had to say that, man, they quit smiling, Coach Campbell.
Nah, but go ahead, Rocky. Go ahead, Rocky.
Go ahead, Rocky.
No, guys, I just wanted to say that, Coach, in your first 2 games you performed. Your team has held it together in the face of adversity, and to me, that's the hallmark of a really good team. Going in, this is kind of the same kind of question, but I'm gonna get more specific. Do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upcoming week? Or do you see a time where you can play Junior this upc in the game against Miami?
So every morning, well, I won't say every morning. The morning before we play, we have what we call play the player meetings, and when that happens, it's right after breakfast. We sit around for about an hour and we talk about certain things that we want to happen in the game. How many, I want my coordinators and position coaches to come in and tell me who they're thinking of playing, right? And how much and when. So, when that grade sheet comes out and you told me that this guy was going to play this amount of plays, right? Then I want to see that. I want to be able to see that, right? So, and I'll say this: in our first two play the player meetings, it was the opportunity was we wanted to get Junior in the football game. We wanted to play him, right? Well, then now, we get to the first game and we talk about when we want to do it. Well, hell, we're down 14-0 now. You know what I mean? And then you get to the game against South Carolina State. We wanted to get him in then, but Daniel Richardson was playing well, right? And even though it wasn't showing on the scoreboard, Richardson was doing a great job with his reads, and so we go into the game, every game, wanting to play him. We want to play him, right? So I think there's going to be a good chance to do that, but we don't want to necessarily ruin what maybe Daniel Richardson has going on, especially during those games. So if you look at those two games, there wasn't necessarily an opportunity to do so, but going into Saturday, there's always been a plan, especially for the first 2 weeks, to try to find a way to get Junior in the football game.
Say, Coach, I want to ask you a question. You coming in, being a new coach for Florida A&M University, of course, with the defending HBCU national champions. FAMU won the first 1AA champion. You come in and, Coach, immediately they want to see you, like you say, go back to Atlanta. What have you done with the new coaching staff with the oversized expectations? What have you done as a coach to make sure that you keep the team focused and understand that, as they say, one game at a time, but also knowing that the end goal for FAMU has always been a national champion?
Well, I mean, our veterans do a great job of leading that parade, where they know, hey, to get there, right, we got to make sure we take care of this day. Obviously that's the end goal, but we're very, very conscientious about being where our feet are. Right now, we're making sure that we got to make sure we're on time tomorrow so we can hit that flight, right? We have to make sure that we take care of ourselves and being ready to go for Saturday. So, and I will say this, we did a great job of that last year, because when we beat Jackson State the first game of the year, everyone thought it was over with. We're going to go here, we're going to go there. But in all reality, right, we had to make sure that we took care of every week. So, the guys have gone through it. They understand it, right? And again, I mean, we got in my opinion, we got a very, very tough schedule. So why look into the future when we got to make sure we take care of this stuff that we got this week, right? You got to get healthy, then take on another division, another FBS program. So I can't worry about October until we take care of them in September.
Now, Coach, I want to shift gears one thing, and we'll get back to the football. But I'm a huge football fan. I was actually in Tallahassee when you came to Florida State. Now, you came to Florida State in one of the most legendary recruiting classes of all time. Ward Dunn was in your class. Scott Bentley, remember, you guys needed a kicker. Darrell Bush, Renard Wilson, Peter Bulwer. When you playing at Florida State and playing at a high level, and Coach Mickey Andrews, who Deion Sanders talks about, legendary defensive back coach, what did that type of playing in those big games that you played in, playing for a national championship, Rocky talked about you making this up. Do you talk to the players about, hey, I've been in these big games, I know what this means, let me give you a little bit of my experience? Do you kind of talk about that, also talk about the great players that you play with and what you're expecting far as from the recruits that we brought in, from the portal and things like that? Do you utilize the experience of you being a great college player yourself?
Well, be honest with you, my players do it for me. I mean, they joke around about the big shoulder pads and the different Nike swoosh that we had, in the 90s compared to how the Nike swoosh is now. I obviously that gives you some credibility, and I always have to joke about it because they like, oh, Coach, the interception. Hold on, guys. I actually had 9 in my career. I had more than just this one interception that everyone wants to talk about. But I mean, they obviously they know how close we are to Florida State. and understanding that, at one time, we were very, very good. And obviously, playing for Coach Bowden. Believe me, it pains me every year that goes by when I tell people about Coach Bowden and they ask me who, you know what I mean? So obviously, they get a chance to see, and again, that gives me instant credibility. And obviously, the guys that I've coached, I've had Antonio Cromartie come in and talk to my team, Brian McFadden, guys that I've coached that have gone.
Wow. Okay.
So the credibility that doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? And obviously you get Cromartie saying, hey, Coach Colzie knows what he's doing. He's a great coach, but he's going to love you. He's going to love you hard, and he's going to love you. He's going to love you. So, those things help. But it was a blessing to be over there. I was blessed around. You mentioned Scott Bentley, that big time recruiting class that we had. Scott Bentley was the one that was on the cover of Sports Illustrated because they felt that we would finally make a kick, and then he did. But we had some really, really good players. And those guys now are successful businessmen. They're successful men after football, which to me is the best thing to talk about, because even though they played and had the success that they did, them coming in and talking about the quality people that they became is equally important to me.
So, Coach, your former teammates, do they come in and how happy are they for seeing you getting this opportunity? And first of all, like they say, they know about Florida A&M because, again, right in Tallahassee. How happy are you for that you get this opportunity? And now they supporting you, or they say, hey, Coach, what do you need? What can we do to, make it even better?
No, they've asked me questions, right? They want to definitely get involved. Like, believe it or not, like, I don't know if you remember Forrest Conley. He was a big left tackle that we had.
Left tackle 79, I believe.
Yep, exactly. And he is now, he's going to be the announcer of the game this upcoming Saturday. So I was doing my ESPN ACC talk, and Forrest Conley and I we just took over the interview because we just talked for 20 minutes before we could actually even talk about the football game. So obviously they're excited. We got a really, really close bunch. We've been close for years. We've been at weddings. We've been at funerals. So we as our group we came in close. We're still close, and they're obviously definitely excited. They've already asked me, hey, Coach, what's going to happen this weekend? I haven't responded back. So but obviously we've been close since we were 18 years old, and we're even closer now as we get into our late 40s.
Hey,
That's
Coach.
Awesome.
Hey, Coach. Now I'm gonna ask you to address something that a lot of people in the HBCU space has had a lot of fun with, made a lot of jokes about, but they were hoping that it would somewhat affect the performance on the team. And it's that $237 million donation that led to the firing of the president, the AD, and some other administrators. Coach, has the team been completely insulated from that? Have y'all even thought about it? I know there are a lot of HBCU schools out there hoping that would somehow affect the continuity and consistency of the defending national champions. So can you tell us how that played on campus and specifically among your football team?
Wasn't really talked about. We obviously know that we had no control over that entire situation. You know what I mean? The guys kind of joked about, how much of that maybe was going to come to football. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, even myself, right? Even myself, we never even discussed it. Never even came across it. And we would have loved to have had it, but it was it was tough. It was tough for the people that are affected. You know what I mean? And obviously these are people that that I came across on a daily basis. But for us, it didn't faze us, right? But we do know that it affected some of the people that we did talk to, talk to on a daily basis, right? So the president was the one who gave the final sign off for me. So that that was tough. That was tough to hear, But I'll be honest, like and our guys, they just wanted to play, and that's all they really cared about.
Coach, let me make a comment on that as somebody who went to Florida A&M and was an actual student. When you're a student at Florida A&M, I'm telling you, I didn't know what happened at the administration. All I wanted to make sure that the cab was open and the girls were pretty and I could get to class. So I'm pretty sure your football players were like most 18 to now 20, almost 23, 24-year-olds, that they had to focus on football, make sure they were going to class, and playing that next game, because that's more of an adult, to me, more of an adult thing that was in the atmosphere. But far as at a student level, and just me personally, it was things going in Florida A&M, and I found out as oh, that happened. Because, kids don't, like you said, don't really care about that. But I do want to ask you, with that being said, how close is this team based off of transition from a new coach? And I keep going back to this because I think this is what's so critical for you having a championship success that I believe that you're going to have. Tell me about some of the leaders on your team, even the guys that transferred in, and some of the guys that stayed on the team, like Kendall Bowling and stuff. Talk about some of the leaders on the team.
Well, the biggest thing that when we talked to the coaching staff was, all the talent that we were going to have, the people coming from the different, we got an offensive lineman from Huntington Beach, California, and then we got an offensive guard, one of our guards is from Nigeria. We got guys that are from different walks of life, but we knew they were going to be talented. So the biggest thing that we wanted to make sure we did was just find a way to get our team close. So obviously we done a couple team bonding events, just having the guys understand that, we can laugh with each other. Even though there's some guys that might be coming in and take positions, because that was one of the things that people thought that was going to happen. So, we had 2 team bonding events, and then we also had, we had a talent show, and I got to rephrase that. We had an untalented talent show, because that was one of the worst things.
Yeah, we saw the videos, Coach. Yeah, we saw some of the videos, Coach. Yeah, we saw that singing. They got football talent, but not no singing talent.
Yeah, we're bad. But but the one thing that we saw, Daniel Richardson was the DJ, right? We had some guys get out of their shell and really, really enjoy themselves. You know what I mean? And that was for me. When I saw these guys, that were maybe battling on the field and were tired of hitting each other, but then I saw them laughing together and hanging out with each other afterwards. That's when I was like, you know what? We're getting there. We're not there completely, but we're getting there. And so that's when you get guys from all over, from Washington State and Tennessee and UMass and FIU and these all guys. They're all alphas. They were all alphas trying to come in and take everybody's position, but they understand, and I got, when I mentioned earlier that we have to play a lot of guys, right? Because we have to play these guys. We have all these guys on our team. We have all this talent, so we play them because we know that they have the ability to play. But that was the biggest thing for me, just making sure we got them guys together, got them tight to care about each other, and we're continuing to do that every single day.
Yeah, Coach. We got some people watching all over the country, and this is your opportunity, of course, to sell your program. And let's just say I got a son. What would you tell them, or what would you want to say to them about you and your program, and why should they choose Florida A&M to go play football?
Well, I'll say this. Obviously, the success that FAMU has had in the past, right? I feel whenever I go out and I'm wearing my FAMU stuff, Florida A&M stuff, we got a national brand. I mean, anywhere I go in the country, I've spoken throughout this summer. I've spoken in Las Vegas. I've spoken in Atlanta. I've spoken in Miami. I've spoken in DC. I've spoken in Chicago. No matter where I've gone, FAMU is everywhere. And obviously you're getting the opportunity to get the education at the #1 HBCU in the country. You're gonna get the exposure of playing on a national. Every single game that we play on is on national television of some sort, right? And I think that, and I'll say this, when you come here and you watch a home game and you're not sold, then that means you didn't want to come here to begin with. The whole gamut of playing at Florida A&M and being a Rattler and the support that we receive off campus, outside, alumni, former players, the love is there. The love is there, and I'm excited, right? I'm excited about what we have. I'm humbled about what we have. I'm blessed with the opportunity to get up here and park right in front of that stadium every single morning. The love is there, and I know there's a lot of people on the outside that don't want FAMU to be successful, which is why I love being the head football coach at Florida A&M.
Yeah, Coach. Now look here. Now I'm about to start something, Coach. I'm about to start. Now you asked me a question.
Let me finish my answer. Give me 1 second.
Yes, sir.
I gotta get you something. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I bet he
Coach
get a
about to
ring.
Go show it off.
You know we about to coach about to brag different.
Go show
You
it
know
off.
coach about to brag.
No matter what,
Tell him, coach.
you're gonna get you one of these.
Tell him,
Come
coach.
here, you're guaranteed to get you at least one of these.
Oh my
National
goodness.
Second school in the SWAC that's got it, coach. Tell them. Them other folks in the SWAC, they talk about it. We be about it, coach.
We got our national
Move it
championship
to
rings
your
on
right,
Sunday.
coach. Move it a little bit to your right.
To my right, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
We got our
that's it, coach.
national championship ring on Sunday. They waited. They wanted me to have a meaningful victory before they gave it to me, but we got it on Sunday. So
Coach, I want to tell you what. Coach, I want to tell you one thing, and I want to see it, Coach. This is what I'm talking about, brag there. Do you realize that Florida A&M is the only program since 2019 that has beaten every school in the MEAC and every school in the SWAC other than Alcorn? Only Florida A&M University.
I did not know that.
Exactly. So that's why you hold that ring, Coach, because we brag different.
There you go. So you're guaranteed to get one of these, and you're guaranteed to get a great degree from the number one HBCU in the country.
I'm ready to start something, Rocky. Now don't you in prime time, you know, Florida down there struggling. Man, don't y'all run away from us, man. You got us all cheeked up and smile. We got one of the best HBCU football teams in the country. You know, we ride behind you. Hey, I'm starting something now, Coach. I'm starting something.
Let me say this, guys. One of the favorite, other than the band, other than football, there's another great tradition that I have come to understand in the HBCU sports. It's called pocket watching, Coach. They like to pocket watch in HBCU sports. And we all know, Coach, that you are not one of the highest paid coaches in the SWAC, right? Coach, with the success that you've had thus far, do you see a raise in your future?
I need to hire you as my agent. Hey, I come to work every day. And I believe it or not, when everything was approved, I did that. I did what I did because I wanted to take care of some of my assistants. That's why I did what I did. And hey, it is what it is. It's part of the gig. You win, you get rewarded. I don't know what the other coaches were making. But you keep winning, then you get rewarded, and that's how I go about it every single day.
Well, Coach, let me say.
Address that.
Yeah, well, Coach, let me say this, and you know this from the Rattler Faithful when we didn't know what this decision that Coach Simmons was going to do. You know, we raised the $125,000. So, Coach, what I'm gonna tell you this: you keep doing what you're doing. And you come back on this show, I'm going to open my big mouth so we can do the same thing for you because you are on that trajectory. So, Coach, the good thing about it is you know that we do have it, and we're going to support our coaches. So the one thing about it is, and listen to what Coach said, he's working hard. So to all the Rattlers, again, this means support the Booster Club, support the NIL, support what Coach needs. Coach, I know you're going to various places talking about nutrition, talking about the things that the team needs, because the one thing for you to be a champion is we got to support you to be a champion. So I want to make sure to say that out loud also, because I know, like you said, it's not even about you, because it's about you, Coach. You could go coach many other places, Power 4 and all that stuff like that. You're at Florida A&M, and we appreciate you being here.
Just when I tell you guys, I love being here. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you guys in my office, right? I love being here, man. I mean, understandable. Yep. You like to have a couple different things and all that, but man, I got great kids. I got a great staff. I'm in Tallahassee, Florida, one of the marquee cities as far as college, as far as university goes. I get a chance to go speak to amazing people every Wednesday, and believe it or not, being the FAMU head coach has a lot of perks, and it's great. It's great to come up here every day, man. It really is.
Now, Coach, let me do one thing. This is for you are well known for your eyeglass wear. Coach, your glasses always fly. Now, do you have a collection of different glasses and things like that? Because one thing I have heard is we know that Coach Colzie, you could be 100 yards away, but them glasses are going to be sharp, Coach. So is that something that is your thing with the glasses and stuff like that?
My vision was great for a while, and then I don't know what happened. And, so now I got to wear glasses sometimes to see. But if I'm going to wear glasses, I'm going to try to make them look fly. And so I got to answer your question, I got a few, and then sometimes they match and sometimes they don't. But If I'm going to wear glasses, I'm going to wear glasses, I'm going to wear what I want to wear.
Well, this is what I'm going to say, Coach. Coach needs an NIL optometry glass deal. So all those FAMU optometrists, I need you to give a Coach Colzie and sponsor him for his eyeglass work. Make you a lot of money because Coach be looking fly now. So, Coach, listen, let me tell you one thing. When coaches come in, I'm going to try to get you some money, Coach. That's one thing I'm going to do. And anybody will tell you. So I'm going to try to get you that eyeglass NIL deal.
Coach, our show got a way of getting guys jobs and NIL deals, and you know, it's one thing about the HBCU Coaches Corner. These two guys do a great job. Their business.
I need to hire an agent and a publicist.
Yeah, we got the job at Grambling State. We got the job at Alcorn State. We got the job over at Southern, and we don't want to lose you, Coach. So Campbell, let's not wait till the last minute like we did Simmons. Let's give him the money now. You know?
Well, this is what Coach knows, and Coach, and I'm gonna say this for a lot of alumni, is that again, when that storm hit and those dark clouds rolled in, you kept the team together. Yeah. And I think that is going to bode well for the success of you being in Tallahassee, being our head coach. I know a lot of alumni excited. And again, Coach, you're doing, and what I will say this, Coach, be loud when you need something. Let us know what you need. Because a lot of times, Coach, as you well know, there are things that we don't know as alumni. So sometimes, I mean, you can say, it won't hurt our feelings. Just say, hey, we want a championship program. We need to get this. And challenge the alumni, Coach. Challenge the alumni. Because trust me, they'll have your back. Because I believe, like I said, we've got the right man. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
So when I say that, they have. They have. I don't
know this man, Coach. Get to know this man. I was out with him. We came down to y'all game, and man, everybody know this guy here. Everybody, the alumni national president. We had drinks and everything and food and you know, later on we had all that going on. You know how it is, Coach. This guy here, he for
Coach. Coach Levy, don't get it, Coach. I'm part of the street committee, so I'm unofficial. I ain't official nothing. But see, you got to have a street. No, Coach. Coach, understand this. Sometimes you need unofficial people because sometimes when you're official, there's a lot of red tape. See, I'm part of the street committee, so I like being a part of that. So my thing is that when a coach like you, I can say things that official people can't say. You see what I'm saying? Right. Because I don't have to worry about I'm official in the Alumni Association or the Booster Club. I can just say it, but it still be true. So that's one thing, Coach. So if you ever need a secret that need to get out there, let me know, and I'll get it out there without letting know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got one question, Coach. You go ahead, Rocky.
No, I just wanted to say we have Dr. Stratton has a question. He says, ask Coach what happened to those drones I donated to the team last year. And so, Coach, if you know where they are, or if, you know, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know about the drones. I know there's no drones allowed to be flown on top of the stadium. They made a huge announcement about that, but you know,
not even for practice, Coach. Not even to record practice.
Nah, man. We have the lifts and we have all. I mean, I had to buy extra cameras for this summer.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Well, he got to give you a name. You got to give your name. Somebody signed off on him.
Don't worry, we'll find out, Coach. We'll find out that. Well, Coach, I know we've had you for a long time, but I do want to ask you a couple of more questions about, like I say, the schedule and playing in the SWAC. Okay. There, you know, again, you've seen other teams play. I'm sure you always watch the Alabama State play. We know there's an injury happening there, but one of the things about it is, do you look at teams again like Jackson State? That's going to be a big game. Alabama State at home, of course, Bethune-Cookman, Southern coming in there. When you looking at now being in the SWAC, are you starting to learn the teams and kind of how they operate and things like that to help you prepare when we play them? Have you started to get that SWAC feel about yourself since you've been around now?
Well, I got the film of all the games, right? So, you know, you try to look at the TV copy first just to see, just see what they look like. And you know, I've already moved on to Troy. You know what I mean? Because we play them in the next couple of weeks. But you know what I've seen in the teams that have played thus far, you know, you got some very, very athletic teams. You know, you're gonna have to be very, very good in space. So as we get ourselves ready and continue to make the moves that we feel we need to make moves on offensively and defensively, that's what we got to be great with. You know, and that's something that we've taken advantage of over the last couple of years. Right? our guys in space have been a lot better than the other teams that are in space, right? So, we got to continue to do that, and that's going to help us, right? Those are things that we'll prepare for as we get ready. Obviously, getting ready for this game on Saturday, and then getting ready for Troy, because we open up with Alabama A&M, a good football team, right? So, those are the things that we look at, but what we need to make sure we take care of our current opponents, right? Before we do look ahead. So, when I do it, it's just watching them on the game, and like I said, let's, we want to make sure I take care of our opponents, but. I ventured off and looked at the games, the TV copies, things like that.
Got you. Coach, one last thing, and again, I'm just thinking about this. Being at FAMU, you brought in 28 players from the transfer portal. Was it because of the name of Florida A&M? Was it because a lot of these kids are from the state of Florida? What drew a lot of these kids, like you say, from the Power Four to Florida A&M University?
Well, a lot of people saw a lot of our guys, that came in. The first thing they talked about is the Celebration Bowl. They talk about the win on the Celebration Bowl, the opportunity to to play at the next level, and because of the exposure that they're going to receive, the whole reload and repeat actually came from one of the recruits. Came in, like, that's what he talked about. Hey, Coach, I want to make sure, I want to help you reload and repeat. You know what I mean? And he said it around a couple people, and then they ran with it. Obviously the shirts that we had in the stadium this past Saturday was all about reload and repeat. So. Very, very few people don't know about FAMU. Whether they want to call it FAMU, or they want to call it Florida A&M, Rattlers. If you're looking to transfer from an institution and continue to play at a high level and continue to have the exposure, right? FAMU's more than likely going to be the #1 spot. Now, obviously, being in the state of Florida, right, that helps. Being close to the state of Georgia, that helps. So. But when we brought those guys on campus and we had our conversations, and when you walk into our office, in my office, and you see all the trophies that we won last year, and you see that, it's gonna note success. And then we talk, it was an easy sell to talk about our schedule, who we're playing, and the amount of time we were going to be on national television. So going 12-1, exposure, 4 guys right now at the next level playing in the NFL. Those are all pluses. Those are easy sells. And again, I won't say I did a hell of a job recruiting. Our recruiting coordinator organized a lot of these things. My job was to finish the deal, and you get a chance to walk with them through Bragg Stadium and show everything that they've accomplished, right, over the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years with Coach Simmons. It's a very, very easy sell.
Hey, Coach, I want to first thank you, guys. Thank you for coming on the show, Coach. But I want to ask you this, because I want to get my timelines right. I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, and I just want to know: did you get a chance to coach Marquise Bell?
No. So Marquise Bell left in 22. Well, he left. He went in the spring of 22. So I got there in the fall of 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my guys, obviously, we had Javon Morgan and Kendall Bowler, who's still with us, BJ Bowler. Chico Cox, those, Eric Smith, those guys were all conference corners last year. But I would have loved to coach Marquise Bell.
Coach, you got some DBs that look like defensive ends, Coach. I don't know where you get those big, strong, fast guys from, but they look pretty good, Coach. Look like they can line up anywhere on the defense and get it done.
I want to challenge him a little bit more. You got some guys that are, learning our defense. Kendall Bowler, he'll get in your face, and he's used to doing that. But you get some new guys in there that are trying to learn the system, trying to understand what I'm asking them to do. But I'd like for them to be I'd love for them to be in their face a little bit more. But it's new. We're early, right? Most corners right now, they know I'm on them, but they don't want to get beat deep. So that's the one thing they don't want to do right now, especially early in the season. But defensively, man, we want to be in your face, whether it's DB, linebackers, defensive line, but especially our corners. I want them to be in their face right now, and I think as we get close to the end of the season, we'll do a better job with that.
Coach, I'm glad you addressed that, because a lot of people wanted to know, because FAMU almost is like getting to be a DBU. I know that I heard in your press conference that you want to see to get more the defense overall get turnovers. Is that something that you guys have now said, hey, we went the first 2 games, we're not generating the turnover that we want to do, and really trying to make that an emphasis, going forward for the rest of the season?
Well, we don't want anybody to get out of character, though. We looked last year about how many we had last year around this time, and I think we only had 1. And it was a tip ball interception. Well, but last year we finished with 17. So we really want our guys to just concentrate and working on their techniques and their fundamentals, doing their assignments. We built our defense and we play our defense with creating turnovers, on our mind, right? But people got to understand you got to put pressure on the quarterback, right? Most places if you got an all-conference DB, that means you had an all-conference D lineman somewhere around there as well. So being able to put pressure on the quarterback, being able to capitalize on some of the turnovers that we may not have had. We just concentrate on your assignments, do the things that you're supposed to do, and those turnovers will come.
Good. Well, Coach, man, one of the things that, just to let you know, because we're coming to an end, because we know you got big game, got a whole bunch of things, and we just glad that you took time out. I am an HBCU graduate, and I've been most of my career been in HBCUs, and sometimes it's been unfair for us to get jobs already as us blacks, and you've been in the business long enough to know that it's tough. The range from PWI white coaches to black coaches but I'm glad you were able to feel and take time out to come on this show. And what we try to do is display a guy like Coach Colzie and other coaches and head coaches that we are smart, we are intelligent, we can run programs. So I'm flattered, man. I'm giddy that you took time out, and you're not even, I'm not going to say an HBCU guy because you grew up across the street. I know you hung out with those guys, but you took time out and know that it's important, for you, not only just as the head coach at Florida A&M, just as a black coach to display what you know and how you could do it and the talent that we have, man. And I got some of my co-guys that don't understand that this is important. This is important. So I thank you. I thank you guys. And you guys want to close it down, y'all can go ahead.
Well, Coach, I just want to say from I'll just say this and I'll let you close out. Coach, from the Rattler Nation, we appreciate you. We appreciate you taking the time. I think we asked some questions that you didn't get asked. We appreciate, supporting us. And again, we look forward to, having you back on. I'm gonna, put it out there. Well, I'm not gonna do you like that, Coach. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. I've already told everybody that the SWAC championship is 10-19-24. I know that's not your concern, Coach, but I'm telling you something. I'm expecting you to do big things, and we really appreciate you being on here.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. And I told you when we talked that day, you let me know when you want me to do it. I'm gonna do it, regardless of the time. And
Coach, you played the biggest game of your life, and you took them 2 minutes out to turn around and talk to me and Rocky. Gave us your number.
I wish I would have had 10. I wish I would have had 10. Again, I obviously understand them, and this is anytime you get a chance to promote the program, I'm always going to try to take advantage of that. And again, I appreciate you for just asking me to do it. And I feel like I took an hour and a half of your time more than anything else. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be on, and it was an honor.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, I want to thank you, Coach, for coming on as well. I'm a huge football fan. I'm a long time, PWI watcher of football. I'm kind of new to the HBCU space, and it's refreshing for me to see men like you leading programs who are capable and competent and respectful and dignified. And I know you're not looking for another job or anything like that, Coach. But it's a great, you being presented the way that you are just represent black men in such a positive light. I'm just proud being on this interview with you, and I want to thank you for all that you do, not only for FAMU but for the image of black men as well.
Well, thank you very much, and I have to commend Coach Simmons, for putting me in a position. Sometimes other people's blessings can be your own. And obviously, the blessing that Coach Simmons received catapulted me to my blessing. And I don't worry about the journey. This is where it's been. If you would have told me 25 years ago, that I would have been the head football coach. In 1999, when I got my first job at Florida International, if you would have told me that I was going to be the head football coach at Florida A&M, I wouldn't have necessarily believed you. But I wouldn't have believed you as well if you would have told me I would have spent 7 years in Canada as well. So, you know, I can't. And I'm born and raised in Miami, Florida, and I'm in temperatures where it's -8. You know, hey, let me tell you something. That -8 is nothing compared, right? That's the worst I've ever felt. But that was where I was. I had to respect the journey, and you know, I wanted to come back, and ultimately, I feel I came back to the best university in the country, and now I have the best job in the country. Not looking to go anywhere else. I love where I'm at. I love the people that I'm around every single day. I mean, believe me, you get a chance to spend 24 hours around here. They love the Rattlers, and they love the head coach of the football team. From what I see.
All right, hey, Coach, we may have wore his phone out, Coach.
Wore his phone out, man. Listen. There you go. Is he back?
No, he ain't back. Yeah.
Coach had to plug that thing in.
Yeah. But that was good. He ended right on a great note, man.
He ended on a great note, Coach. Man, and like I said, it's just Florida A&M, in my opinion. Let me get him back here.
Coach, you had to plug that thing in, huh, Coach? We ran your battery down, huh?
Can you hear us, Coach?
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Well,
yeah.
Y'all, you can't hear us, Coach?
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
You ain't got a headset laying around, do you, Coach?
Hello,
Coach.
Hey, Coach, we just want to thank you for.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, Coach, we just want to thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate you being on with us. I know. With us. And is it last words?
You can't hear, but Coach, we got you. We gonna see you later, Coach. Maybe get back on.
I'll see you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
That was good, Coach. That was good. I mean, you know, it just gives me great pleasure, man, to see brothers, man, that's articulate, smart, can get it done. He can coach anywhere in the country, Coach. Any school in the country. He might not ever get that opportunity, but he can coach anywhere. You know, he's got the experience. He's been there. He's sat in the seat before. You know, you can't look for none but support. You know, none but success at Florida A&M.
Hey, Rock, are we gonna take any calls? I'm getting people text that we're gonna say, we're getting out of here. Okay, but listen, wait a minute. I'm man.
You know.
Y'all are on. I'm the one that's in the late time. It's only 9:30. It's only like 7 where y'all at. I'm just saying, what you got going? Eat dinner? Is that what it is?
No, Coach Lamar Jackson and Patrick.
Okay, all right. No problem. No problem. I'm getting people.
We'll take calls on Tuesday, but make sure y'all, if y'all just now coming on, make sure y'all watch the entire video. The interview was sensational. Coach Colzie was very informative, very transparent with everything that he shared with us. I even asked him the $237 million question, you know, and so Coach Campbell, when he heard me mention that number, he just
we cut real checks around here. Real checks.
And so, but he was so gracious and transparent about what was going on with the program during that time. And I suggest everybody go back and listen to his answer, because I think he did a great job answering that question.
Yeah, Rocky, you know, I got like 50 million texts, and I said, well, y'all, he's a PWI guy. He had to do it. You know what I mean? So to the Rattler Nation, guys, I tried to keep the train on the track, but you knew that guy was going. We know who this guy. So you had to let him get his 237 joke in. You know what I'm saying? But us Rattlers, like I'm tired.
You should
Listen,
see
Coach.
Cameron's face.
Listen, Coach, listen, he had to go ahead and get his 237 joke, but that's the reason why we brag different. Because it don't matter what it is, 237, 180, it don't matter. One thing we know, we HBCU national champions, so we don't need that check to still be champions. How about that? That I do know.
Hey, look, we gotta call our friends and put that on Swacking the Fool. Because when he asked that question, you did like this, like, what?
Coach, let me tell you something. My phone went as soon as it didn't even get out of his mouth. I got 80 texts. I got 80 texts from people saying, "Get your boy." And I said, you know what? Y'all know how this guy is. We just, like I say, we just gotta love on him. You know what I'm saying, Coach? You're a Texas Southern alum. I'm a FAMU guy. But his daughter goes to Prairie View, so he's learning. But he had to get it in there, Coach. He had to get it in there.
But that question was really for all of the other shows that have, made the inference that somehow this mysterious money, was going to affect the performance of the football team. Mr. Campbell always told me that was wishful thinking. That's nothing that the team is concerned about or the coaching staff. And it's just unfortunate that OBG lost her job because of.
Well, unfortunate for who? For who? Her? Not for us. So listen, like I said, unfortunate for her. FAMU folks, listen, we just fine. Trust me. We're gonna be our new AD when that gets announced. We're gonna be just fine. And I'm not gonna say who it is. When they do get announced, they will be on this show. I've already felt comfortable saying that.
But Mr. Campbell, I will say this: you were going all the way back to, I want to say, shortly after the New Year, you were in the Colzie camp right away. I know you have a very close friend that is part of the staff. And so, and in saying that, you may have had some inside knowledge that some of us didn't about the man who is James Colzie III. I think FAMU football is in great hands, in my opinion.
Well, I think I told Coach this. I think the most important thing I heard was when all this was swirling is that, again, we didn't have 60, 70 guys jumping in the portal, and all the guys respected Coach Colzie. And Coach, as again, you're a head coach. You know how important it is for your players. When you tell them something that they do it, that means they respect you. That means they're going to play hard. That means they're going to execute. And all I heard was the players respect Coach Colzie. I never heard the players like Coach Colzie. I heard the players respect Coach Colzie. And once I heard that, and I knew that portal was basically, and the players that left, they were going to leave anyway. If Coach Simmons was there, they still were going to leave. These guys had the talent to go to Power 5. They went to Power 5. God bless them and everything. But the core of those guys that was going to stay at Florida A&M, they're still there, and they're still on a mission. They're still on a mission.
What can you say, Coach? He 2-0.
Hey, Cam, I'm going to let you get a chance to respond to this.
What is that?
I don't know what school this guy's from, but he's probably from a school that doesn't have a win.
But, man, listen, that is my nephew, Adrian Crook, who went to Southern. He's a Southern alum. It's somebody that we are 8-2 against. And he talks more about FAMU than he talks about the Southern Jaguars. So that's just what happens. When you have to brag different, people want to be you instead of worrying about their school. So my real Southern folks don't ever talk about FAMU. He talks more about FAMU than anybody. So he wants FAMU to lose. They're going to lose to Jackson State. They're going to lose us. And then that'll be the end of their season also. But my real Southern folks, y'all know Southern folks worry about Southern. He worry about FAMU.
All right, Coach, you ready to take us out?
Oh yeah. I thought you was gonna answer a call or two, but we good.
No. He said he got to go we got to go watch football, Coach. He said he won't get a call on it.
All right, Coach. Good, man. Look, we try to bring greatness to you. I think everybody is picking up, and other podcasters are kind of taking our route. That we are getting these head coaches on. Most of them are good friends, or I know somebody who knows somebody, so that's a good thing. And we gotta make sure that we support these black men and taking on our youth, our young men, and making them men and making them great men in their community. Again, I gotta continue to talk about the election coming up next week. You got Harris versus Trump. Make sure you put that on your calendar, even though we'll be on the show for a little bit. But that's important. I hear a lot of things about people don't know who Kamala Harris is. I think this is give you an opportunity to find out who she is and also give you another idea of who Trump is. So make sure you tune in. Guys, we had a shooting in Georgia. I am a school teacher. Stuff like this shouldn't happen, but it constantly does. And hopefully, man, hug on your kids tonight. Give them a kiss. But we got to keep our trust in the Lord that when it's time and he thinks it's time, it's time. You could be in a steel box 6 feet under, but when it's time, it's time. Pray for those families that lost their loved ones. And that's more important than any sports game, any talk show that we have. Again, the world is a beautiful place. Enjoy it. Enjoy every minute of it. Living in America, I know one would argue, I think it's the greatest place in the world to live because it has so many opportunities and not necessarily to live free. But if things ain't going right your way, look for tomorrow. As I always say, if you're having problems, hang on to your rope and tie a knot and hold on tight. Because ain't nobody.
With what you need to know. Today, it's Tuesday, Debate Day, September 10th, 2024. Number 1. Going into Tuesday night's presidential debate, both Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are receiving advice from political figures and everyday voters alike. Many are uncertain what to expect due to Mr. Trump's unpredictable nature, while Vice President Harris is expected to lean on her prosecutor background. Polls show the race is tight, with each candidate holding narrow leads in key battleground states. Number 2, Vice President Kamala Harris faces a challenge in gaining support from male voters in key battleground states where Donald Trump leads by wide margins. However, Vice President Harris has made significant progress with black voters, especially younger black women, whose engagement has surged. Despite the gender gap, her candidacy has sparked enthusiasm among young black Americans, many of whom were less motivated in previous elections. Number 3. Flu shot season is underway, with vaccines available for everyone ages 6 months and older. The CDC recommends getting vaccinated by the end of October as flu cases peak between December and February. This year's trivalent flu shots protect against 3 strains of the virus, focusing on the most prevalent types. Number 4. In July, a Kent County judge sentenced Joel Peter Venema to 2 to 10 years in prison for ethnic intimidation and assault. Venema pleaded guilty to attacking Jackie Beard in 2021, hurling racial slurs and attempting to strangle him at a hotel pool. The sentencing was delayed for 3 years due to appeals, but Beard expressed relief that justice has finally been served. Number 5. Many Americans fall behind on taxes due to life events, but you don't need to pay it all at once. The IRS offers payment plans that allow you to spread your tax debt over time, preventing penalties from growing. Options include a short-term plan for debts under $100,000 and a long-term plan for up to 72 months for debts under $50,000. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. People with a growth mindset are more likely to view criticism as a learning method rather than a personal attack. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian Damon Williams, producer Ahmed Gordon, and contributor Cameron Riley as we discuss the day's top headlines and more. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed.
On the lunch break with AJ Jones.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.